Hello?
That's a nice new mug, Subs Junior. Where did you get that from?
Look, the Emirates Stadium.
Wow. And it says to Vyom Subramanian, happy birthday. I hope you have a great day. Bakayo Saka. So yes, you did celebrate your birthday and you become a 9-year-old now. Happy birthday, Subs
Thank
Junior.
you. So, in case you're all wondering what this is, my dear sister bought this for my birthday, and it's this mug. I don't think you can see it quite clear.
Show the other side.
This is it, and this is the other. This is the other side.
Wonderful. So, hi, welcome back. We've taken a nice break, but we had so many things. Diwali and one of the most important events of all. Subs Junior turned 9 years old, and this was the birthday present. So, happy birthday, Subs Junior. Welcome to the show. Welcome to this week's show. We'll cover a lot of things, but before that, we have to say this. Hi, I'm Rajesh, aka Subs Senior.
Hi, I'm Subs Junior, aka Vyom.
And together, we are the Football Subs. So, what do we have in store? We did take a long break, like I said. So, let's talk a lot about a bunch of things that happened over the last few weeks. Let's, of course, focus on the Premier League, concentrate on match days 9, 10, and 11. It's becoming very level, isn't it, right now? Well, the playing field is fairly level if you think about it. Look, we have the top right now after match 11.
Yeah.
Liverpool, what's happening at the table?
So in the table, there's obviously been a few teams moving up by one. Liverpool running away with all of those points. 28 at the top. They're of course 5 points ahead of Man City. 7.
23.
In fact, 9 ahead of
Arsenal.
Chelsea.
And Arsenal and Chelsea and Nottingham Forest and Brighton. So what's happening here is number 3 and to number 13, which is Manchester United, they're separated by just 4 points. So one head-to-head result, a 6-pointer, can just change the table topsy-turvy. So that's where we are.
We normally start with the top, but now we're going to start on the bottom and to the top. So it's basic. So there are 2 teams that Bournemouth and Man United that are at 15 points.
Yep.
Of course.
Brentford and Spurs are say 16, and then 3 teams at 18 and 4 teams at 19. But that is a bit of an arithmetic progression, right? 2, 3, 4, 5. But look, let's talk a little bit. Let's dissect on what happened in match days 9, 10, 11 and how we ended up getting here. So let's start with match day 9. So we had the weekend started with
Chelsea versus Newcastle United. We had Chelsea winning 2-1.
And who scored? The boy wonder?
Cole Palmer.
The boy wonder scored again.
Alexander Isak. And apparently there was a pass of the match in that game.
Who did that?
Cole Palmer.
Yeah, was that for Nicholas Jackson? Did he get an assist as well then?
Yeah.
Wonderful. And the good news for Newcastle, I guess, is Isak is back. Isak was out with a bit of injury. He's back, and they did need to put a good round of results after that, which they did, and we'll come to that in match days 10 and match days 11. But that's what happened. There was a shock. Spurs obviously were Spursy, if I may say so. No offense to Spurs fans, I'm sure you'll agree with me. After remarkable results against Man City and others, Spurs dropped points and lost to Crystal Palace. Wow. So that happened. What do we say about Man United? Of course, Man United were still managerless at that point in time.
In injury time, there was a penalty given, and there was apparently, according to some people, a big debate of whether West Ham should have got a pen or should they have not.
Yeah, there was that going on. But to me, there were 2 contenders for game of that match day. Uh, s- uh, so sorry. Continue with that. Man United. Yeah, well, there was a contentious penalty, and there was a lot of. Wasn't this the last match of our friend Ten Hag? ETH was fired after this match,
because
so
no,
he
that
complained
didn't.
and complained and complained. But I think the management had it with him, so they fired him. Van Nistelrooy took over as interim, and Amorim has taken over. And yeah, we'll see what he has in store for Man United. They still look very dodgy, very dicey, but they are still there. That weekend was capped. Like I said, there were two games of the week contenders, and one was the Arsenal Liverpool game, which we had previewed in our previous episode.
Drew 2-1.
What happened in the Arsenal Liverpool game?
The boy wonder because Saka coming back and scoring in the 9th minute, and then Virgil van Dijk with a brilliant header to equalise in the 18th minute. Then Mikel Merino with a fabulous header and a fabulous cross by Ryan
That was another set piece beauty, right? It just whipped right in. Mikel Merino was literally caught onside by Cucurella's toe or something like that. Otherwise, there was a big VAR check.
It's Liverpool.
I'm sorry. So Mikel Merino was caught by one of the defenders' toes. It was just so just a tiny bit, right? It was one of those things. But then look what happened in Liverpool. The genius, one of the greatest ever, who played the Premier League, Mo Salah, came in, and yeah, I think Arsenal had a lapse of concentration, and a late goal in the 81st minute again ensured that Arsenal did not win this season. Last year they did win 4-3, if you all remember, topsy turvy game. But as usual, Arsenal Liverpool gave a lot of goals.
Last season we won 3-1. Okay, action.
Yeah, so as you remember, Arsenal Liverpool always have a minimum of 4 goals over the years, and this is what happened: 4 goals. Unfortunately, it was 2-2. Then on that Saturday of that particular thing, there were a bunch of games. We did predict that we did predict that Man City will beat Southampton. They did. Who scored? Erling, Brot, Haaland, the one who is on autopilot, the scoring robot, the goal bot. All credit to him. He's brilliant. Let's stay humble here, guys. Okay, stay humble. Yeah, Sub Junior, stay humble. Stay humble. Oh, okay. Uh, but I think arguably the match of the weekend was this Brentford Ipswich Town topsy turvy game,
Wow,
wasn't it?
what a game.
What a game it was! Brentford Ipswich playing away took a 2-0 lead. Brentford, you Visa. What did he do? Just at the edge of halftime.
At the stroke of half time.
Wasn't that brilliant? 2-2. And then the other fella,
Brian
Mbuemo, he did it. He got
scoring
a brilliant brace.
a brilliant pen and a last minute goal. Wow.
90 plus 6 to get right ahead. Delap did get them the lead or get them the equalizer, but yeah, there were 2 cards for Clark. So that was one of the topsy turvy games of that weekend. Wolves managed not to lose it and came back from 2-0 down to draw against Brighton. That was really something.
Yeah, and also that was also a good game, and there was also a good game with Brighton v Wolves. Nori scoring, Cunha scoring, 2-2 draw, just like the Arsenal v Liverpool game.
Bournemouth did a 90 plus 6, 96th minute equalizer to take away a point at Villa. This was just so much happening, and Everton 94th minute equalizer to take a point against Fulham, whom they hosted. So it was a very, again, topsy-turvy. Leicester has been in a run of bad form. They've not been doing really well. But hey, they faced Nottingham Forest with our favorite Kiwi striker, Chris Wood. I wish I had him on his fantasy football team. Do you know, Big Meeks? He dropped Chris Wood just before he started scoring, and Restless Football episode, he always complains, "Oh, I should have got him. I should have got him." But anyway, Chris Wood, maybe somebody you can add to your fantasy football league. Nottingham Forest is going really strong. So that was your match day 9, which meant Liverpool continued to cement their position at the top of the table, but barely, because Man City was just slightly behind them. Arsenal fell behind even more. What then happened in match day A? Match day 10.
10. So there was also
The start of the week.
Shocking results. So we're gonna start with Liverpool beat Brighton. So there's so there was
Kadioglu got a shock lead.
One goal to get the lead, but then Cody got Poe.
And who else?
And
Mo Salah.
Again. And funny fact that when some people call when Cody Gakpo's not playing well, or they call him Cody Snackpo.
That's funny. But then Gakpo scored. Yeah. Salah is scoring regularly now and for fun. And Liverpool took away all 3 points. Southampton got, I think, their first win of the season, right? They beat Everton 1-0. Wolves wanted to get another win or their first win, but didn't. Again, topsy-turvy game with 4 goals being scored in the 20 minutes between 60 and 70 and 80. That was really something. 2-2 against Crystal Palace. Arguably, on Saturday, Ipswich Town were doing very well. They were about to beat Leicester. Another 94th minute equalizer. That was really something.
Calvin Phillips getting a red card, second yellow. I don't know how many. Calvin Phillips is moving a lot. As you know, last season he moved to West Ham and got a red card. He got a red card in West Ham and he moved from Man City.
Maybe
he's moving again.
So maybe he's on loan, of course. Maybe Man City would have used him or deserved him. We don't know. But then, arguably, the 2 top of the table results that dominated that particular Saturday, the 2nd of November, were the one at where Arsenal went to Newcastle. Our bogey ground, right? St James's Park. Our bogey ground, St James's. What happened there, Sub Junior?
Alexander Isak with the header and the scoring in the 12th minute. But I've got to say, well, it was well deserved.
Yeah, we didn't play very well.
As an Arsenal fan.
Yeah. Arsenal didn't play very well. Yeah. So that was good. And Gordon got the assist. Gordon again made a sweeping pass. What a beauty it was. And caught our backline completely, unprepared. Yeah. So Arsenal dropped points. They tried, and they got slightly better in the second half, but not good enough, unfortunately. Not good enough at all. Went chance after chance after chance went up again.
There was also another shock.
The biggest shock of that weekend was
Manchester City v Bournemouth. Or you could say Bournemouth v Manchester City because Bournemouth were at home. Semenyo scoring in the 9th minute and Evan Ocean making it 2-0 in the 64th minute.
Yeah.
And I think it was Evan Ocean who scored in the 1-0 match that we were talking about. No, the 1-1 match that we were talking about earlier. What was it? Switzerland?
Yeah, the one the previous weekend, you're right. Against Brentford or Brighton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But Josko Gvardiol tried his bit, but there you go. Man City lost, and this was their, at that point in time, second loss in a row because earlier in that week they had lost to Tottenham Hotspur in the Carabao Cup, and Man City. So they keep, and of course we'll talk about it in a bit, but they did lose 2 more. But we'll come to that in a second. But essentially, that was the status of that particular weekend. match day, match day 10. A couple of games to wind it up on Sunday, where Man United and Chelsea cancelled each other out.
On Monday the 4th, and there was
And
also a
Spurs.
And now we're gonna start with.
No, this is the same match day 10. Spurs. Spurs became non-Spursy, and they thrashed Aston Villa 4-1. Aston Villa, to be fair, dominated the first half and even led it, but Spurs came back. What a second half domination! And this is the problem with Spurs. Spurs, big Ange. Ange is a great manager who's very emotional. He plays well, but somehow they're so inconsistent. Their football games are about two halves and two different games, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a match like yeah? It's one of those things.
Like
but of course,
yeah.
Yeah. So that's what happened in that one.
Yeah.
Let's take a little pause. So let's then talk about match 11, which happened last weekend. This weekend, of course, is the international break. So we had a good set of games, but the thing is, it was getting a bit edgy and angsty for teams like Arsenal and Man City. What had happened was Man City had already lost their third game in a row midweek in the Champions League. They were thrashed by Sporting.
Sporting CP 4-1. And fun fact that Ruben Amorim is now the Manchester United manager.
So there was a lot at stake, and in a way, well, Man United fans have some bragging rights that their manager beat Man City 4-1. But look, Man City got thrashed, so they had a lot riding into this weekend. They needed to win. Arsenal had a very torrid run of form. They were meeting Chelsea, which were on an upswing. They had to prove something. Liverpool, of course, were riding very well. Liverpool, in fact, fun fact, was the only Champions League team who's won all 4 match days.
Yeah.
So they have 12 out of 12, and they were top of the pops over there. So what happened in that thing? What are some of the matches that happened? Let's go. On Saturday.
There was also Brentford v Bournemouth. Wow, what a game! Evan Nielsen scoring. I think this is the third time we're mentioning him scoring
for Bournemouth, right?
Yeah,
but Brentford came back. Brentford came back
again in this episode.
Yeah, Brentford came back, and fun. Well, okay, fun, not fun. We were driving past on the A4 when Damsgaard scored, or Visa scored the winning goal, and we could hear the lights and all of those things. Well, that is a fun fact for whatever it is worth. Fulham continued doing good mid-table runs, and they beat Crystal Palace 2-0 with Harry Wilson and Emil Smith Rowe. Well, Arsenal ex-players are scoring in other places, so be it. West Ham Everton was one of the most boring games with nothing really happening, 0-0. Then Wolves won. Wow, Wolves won. What a game! And Wolves are slowly but surely escaping that relegation zone.
So scoring in the second minute.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a
yeah. Sarabia and Matthias Cunha. Now let's go into the continued shock of the week. But now, Vyom, say Subs Junior, if it happens 4 times in a row, is it still a shock, or now is it just the norm?
Well, if the champions of if the champions of the Premier League 3 multiple times in a row lose 4 matches in a row, it is still a shock.
It's a huge shock, isn't it? This happened for the first time in Pep Guardiola's career, that he's lost 4 matches in a row as a boss. So yes, Man City lost yet again. This time they were undone by a brilliant rearguard, couple of performances by Brighton and Hove Albion.
Yeah.
Haaland scored, of course, in the first half, and people expected that to change the game, but in reality, it didn't. the rear guard action, and I think Man City just switched off for whatever reason. This also marked the moment when I think Kevin De Bruyne has returned from injury.
Yeah.
So Kevin De Bruyne did not start, but he was on the bench. But he wasn't. He did play for the last 16 odd minutes plus injury time, but it just wasn't enough. What do you think is happening with Man City, Sub Junior?
I think it's because I think it's the back line. You see, for that match where they had some youth team player, Simpson, Pussy.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean they need another they need another centre back.
yeah.
They need another centre back because I mean it's just not like you have to have a partner that's good to run back to defend. Cause as you see, Guardiola's more of that attacking defender, and
What do you think about these guys, though? What do you think about these guys? These guys here, Akanji and Ake. Look, they've been beset by injuries. You're right. They don't have the best backline, and that's why Simpson Pussy was given his first debut. But then Akanji has been out for a while. Ake has been out for a long while.
yeah,
But they've named on the bench, which means they will return, and that will make them really strong. And in the midfield as well, right? For Man City.
yeah. The midfield was
You know the big man is missing, the best player in the world.
Kevin De Bruyne.
No, Rodri, the
Oh,
Ballon d'Or winner.
winner.
So he's out for the season, as you all know, and he is a big miss. But Kevin De Bruyne is missing. So Kovacic has been standing it, but they still have people missing. Oscar Bob, and yeah,
Nico Lewis.
Jack Grealish.
Yeah, loads of people.
So
But now we're gonna talk about
no, just on that, right? Just on the injury part. Okay, we'll cover the injury part afterwards on what is the difference between Arsenal and the crisis at Arsenal, crisis at Man City, and so on. But let's talk about that in a bit. So, what then happened in the other matches on Sunday, Subs Junior?
yeah, but there was Manchester United winning against
Leicester
Leicester once again
3-0.
losing 3-0.
That was a thrashing.
Fernandes and Alejandro Garnacho scoring.
Yeah.
And Nottingham Forest losing to Newcastle United
At home, and Nottingham Forest, that's a first big setback because they had a great run of results and they even led them 1-0 at halftime. But Newcastle had a very spirited rearguard action in the second half and cemented it in the 72nd, 83rd minute. So again, the Swedish guy, Alexander Isak.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So that happened. What about again maybe the shock of this weekend? Well, Man City was a shock, but this one was it a shock when Spurs play became Spursy again and lost to Ipswich?
Again, lose, win, lose, win, win, lose, win, lose.
Exactly. But it was a good result for Ipswich. Ipswich, as you know, made it up from the championship. They played well. They showed a lot of character with or without Eddie Sheeran cheering them on. But they've had 5 draws, and yeah, that's not bad at all, right? If you think about it, and always, one goal away from a win. This time they did make that happen. They won that.
And there was also a next game where Arsenal had an opportunity to go third, and yeah, it was good. And there was also the shocker.
Sit.
And Gabriel Martinelli scoring and Martinelli got assisting him his second match back with the Gunners.
Yeah, the first match he just started slightly on the bench in the Champions League, but this one he started and he played the full game. He wasn't even subbed off, so that's augurs well for Arsenal. But then Pedro Neto, of course,
and then
scored.
From exactly 10 minutes later.
Yeah. And that match,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that was also, it was really nice. And yeah,
But if
yeah,
you,
but if you
but if you
look at
think about it now, look, Arsenal played extremely well. They had some. But the thing is, this match was more than anything else. This match was quite even. Chelsea played very well as well. So it was a good even result. But Arsenal would probably be a little bit happier to get out with 1 point. If they'd lost, I think it may have been curtains for the title dreams. But now, I do believe with Odegaard back, that they can put together a good
yeah,
string of results, especially
like
given the
when Odegaard takes the free kicks, and yeah,
next few matches where they host Nottingham Forest and then they go to West Ham United, then they play host Manchester United, go to Fulham, go to Everton, or they host Everton, host Crystal Palace. So a lot of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Ipswich Town. So they have relatively, I would say, kinder run of fixtures, most of which they won last season. But you can never write anybody off in the Premier League, right? That's the beauty of the Premier League. The only game Arsenal lost last season was the Fulham away game, but in general, everything is winnable. So we'll see how it goes. But that comes to the point, Vyom, Sub Junior, about injuries. Do you think teams should have? They have 11 superstars. Should they just have 11 superstars, or should they have 22 superstars with one backup for each position?
Well, of course, you need a backup, but you need to decide your lineup. I mean, yeah, it's good to have as many good players as possible, and as a good coach, you make players grow and to really grow and get loads of goals or assists or make good saves.
That's true.
And good tackles.
So that's the thing. So look, there is also budgets, fair play, all of those things. What some of the other mid-table teams have been doing, which we spoke about, is that they have two or three players for each position, and that allows them to switch them around, manage injuries much better. What Man City and to some extent Arsenal have been caught out is the absence of that. So we shall see how the rest of the season pans out. Next week should throw up some uh, really interesting games. So if you think about it, we have
Yeah, we have loads of games in store.
We have loads of games in store. So next week we have Man City is hosting Tottenham.
Yep, again, this may be.
Who's Liverpool playing next week? They are away at Southampton. That should be a win, I would think so. But Arsenal is hosting Nottingham. That should be a tight game. And if Arsenal stick to form and come back and go, one good thing is they've not been beaten at home this season. So they just need to get one better and score more goals. So those are some of the things that is happening. So we're back and look. So we are 11 games out of 38 out.
Yep, and now we're gonna come up with. Now we're gonna bring it to a new topic, and it's the top scorers in the Premier League.
Let's just review some statistics. Yeah.
So
who do you think is the top scorer? Very easy. There's only one.
You can guess. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Erling Haaland.
With 12 goals. But
12 goals.
But he has
1.09 per one match.
Yeah, but he has his goal conversion is not that high. It's 22%, but that's okay on shots. But look, because he's there, he always scores.
Yeah, 2 minutes per goal.
Yeah, Salah has scored 8, but Salah has made 6 assists. That's amazing.
And Chris Wood from Nottingham Forest.
And Chris Wood has 38% goal conversion. That's brilliant. So one in every 2.5 shots, he just converts. And it goes down to.
And the 7 goals is Cole Palmer.
And 5 assists in 12 in total. That's amazing. So let's talk about the top assists. The top 3 assists.
We're going to do the top assists.
Let's just do the top 3, yeah?
No, we're going to do the top 5.
You go on. Who are they?
So, There's Bukayo Saka from Arsenal, 7 assists, 3 goals, 10 appearances, and he's incredibly made 28 chances. He's 28 chances, but only 7 of them. Yeah, and he's created 3.6 assists per match, and yeah, and 259 passes. And second place, there's Mo Salah with 6 assists, 8 goals, and he's made 10 appearances.
11. And Cole Palmer has 5 assists.
Yep. And now we're gonna take a short break.
Right. So look, Sub Junior, thank you. That was your first episode as a 9-year-old. How cool was that?
Yeah.
So we did load it up with a bit more statistics today for a change. We'll just try and bring different things for you. Yeah, so it's an interesting time for us to be in. Of course, the here it's all dark at 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So what? Then the 3 o'clock kickoffs always start in light but end in dark. 5 and 7 kickoffs are always dark. But look, as we go to the Christmas season, it is the season to be
It's
jolly.
Jolly.
So we'll see. We've got some good football that'll hopefully keep us in good cheer.
And now,
Thank you.
thank you for listening.
Together, we are the
Football
Subs.
Oh, yeah.